What is good, everybody? It's another episode here, and we got a very special guest, someone that we've been trying to work with for quite some time now, but he's a very busy man. The face of baseball content, 60,000 subscribers, and he's constantly growing. He's killing the game right now. We got Dan Sarmiento, aka Dsarm, on all his socials. How you doing, man?
Let's go.
I'm good, man. How you guys doing? I'm pumped to get on. I love, talking to the people who are trying to do what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? So it's like we probably are very like-minded. So I'm excited to connect, dude.
Yes,
Bro,
sir.
this is awesome. You are like the guy for baseball content. I don't know if you realize it or not, but like, dude, you're the man.
Thank you,
Hey,
man. We're working hard. It's like we're trying to build something. So I appreciate you saying that. Honestly,
yeah,
I do.
dude, we're no, we're pumped. I mean, I open my YouTube and there you are all the time.
That's good.
By the
That's
way,
good.
your
Dude,
last video
awesome, bro.
killed it.
Awesome.
Yeah, the Max Clark one, dude. I was blessed. Yeah, I mean that's my best video, like performing by far, and it's
Yeah,
only.
didn't you hit like 200K in like 8 days or something?
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Like
That's sick.
It's the Max Clark effect. Like it was a good video, I guess. Like it was high quality, whatever. But like a lot of my videos I think are good, but none of them
Oh
really.
yeah,
Real quick
definitely.
before I forget, I know you do a lot of college tours and stuff. Have you done UCLA?
No, dude. So I
Hey,
think
hey,
next.
we got you.
Really?
Our boy goes there. He's a track star. He kills it, and
Dude,
I'm sure he can
yeah.
get you in.
So they've been tough because it's like in season, so it's always kind of hard to like get in touch, or at least not get in touch, but like find a time that works. So if you could
Hmm.
help me
Well,
out,
he's
bro, that'd be
gonna
amazing.
hook it up with some baseball players from there, and then I'm sure if I just told him, yo, he wants to tour UCLA baseball facility, he'll put a word in and get you in there.
I'm a
Oh
thousand
yeah.
percent down. But I live in LA, so like I've been trying to do UCLA for a while. It's just kind of like hasn't lined up. But I'd love if you could help me with that. That'd be amazing,
Yeah,
man.
let's do it. I
We
got you.
got you. We got
Um,
you.
so real quick, everyone knows we're gonna start off with some rapid questions. Let's break the ice a little bit. Let's have a little fun. Get to know you a little bit more. Isaiah, do it.
Are you ready?
I think so.
What is your favorite movie?
All time. I like The Social Network. I think that's probably my up there right now. That's my
Okay,
favorite. Yeah,
that's definitely a
Okay.
first. Haven't heard that one
Yeah.
yet.
yeah.
What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
Chipotle. Everyone, people who know me know I get Chipotle
Hey,
way too.
hey,
Yeah,
it's Max Clark's favorite.
yeah, yeah.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation, my PlayStation. Right. I'm back home this week, so like all my back in my home. So it's I'm
All
on
right, well
PlayStation.
that's the end of
Okay,
this
yeah, we're gonna have
podcast.
to wrap it up. You
Yeah, of
know what?
No, I'm
It
course.
just
was
kidding.
fun.
Yeah.
We're Xbox guys. Do you by chance play MLB the Show?
Not anymore. I used to all the time, but like
You're a
I'm
busy
done.
man, huh? You don't have
I
time.
mean, I don't know. I didn't bring my PlayStation out with me to California. It's nice because I'm on like computer all day anyway, so like I feel weird about just going onto another
I
screen.
got you. I got you.
I love
That makes sense. That makes sense. What superpower would you want to have?
uh probably like I'd probably want to have like what's the thing where you can remember everything? Like photographic memory. Because I feel like that would, and I know that's not like like yeah, like the fly. Like obviously I'd like to fly, but I think having a photographic memory would serve really like be like a real photographic memory would be really helpful. I think, and you could do some
Dude,
crazy,
I think you'd kill it in absolutely everything you do if you had that.
right? Yeah, I think like that's what I'm like in my career or whatever. Like I think
Yeah,
having for whatever reason, I think that'd be sick. Like yeah,
for
it'd be fun to
sure.
fly, but
That's it. That's the first one too. Hey,
okay, I'll
that's
take it.
cool.
It
Yeah,
makes sense. It definitely does make sense. What's your favorite music artist?
J. Cole. Yeah,
J. Cole.
yeah, I love
You've been
J.
hanging out with Max too much, man.
Yeah, no, I got dude, right here. I've all I think seven of J. Cole's albums, actually even the mixtapes. So I've like seven albums and mixtapes in order.
That's a popular one right there. We get that a
Love it.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Childish Gambino too.
you do like vinyls? You collect vinyls? Is that
My
it?
buddy's big into vinyls. I only have a few. I have like Forest Hills Drive. I don't know where that is, but Forest Hills Drive, and then because the internet, I don't have a record. My sister has a record player, but I don't have one. But yeah, I love. I'm a big hip hop guy. I like music,
Nice.
indie
Oh
too.
yeah, hell yeah. What's your favorite TV show?
Dude, Atlanta, Donald Glover's show.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
It's a great
I've been
show.
trying to get into it.
Great show. It's worth it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What's the one thing you can't live without?
my my it's lame. My computer. I'll say my computer. I'd
Okay.
say my phone, but like honestly, computer because I love to edit on my computer. I can't really edit on my phones, and I can still do all the other stuff. So my computer
True.
is
Nice.
And then what's your dream car?
I like the the Ford Bronco is super sick. Like the
Yes,
decked out,
the new or old.
one, the new one.
The
But
new
the old
ones are
one's sick
sick.
too. But the new ones, I think, are like the hybrid or whatever, like the super expensive, nice ones are. That's probably for right now. It's probably my dream car.
So we were looking at a car recently. We just got a van because we have kids, but I sat in a Bronco just to sit in it, and I was like, dude, instantly I was like, this might be my dream car.
Right? They're sick. Dude. They're like, yeah, and they've like kind of upgraded them over the years a
They're
ton.
nice. They're
They're
sick.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my last question: who's the most famous person that you have on your phone? I've
Yeah,
been dying to ask you this
we
one,
know
dude.
you got some. We know you got some.
Like as a contact on my
You could do contact, or you could do like who have you like been in contact with, whether it's Instagram DM, something like that you've actually communicated with.
I mean, probably like Lance McCullers. I have his number. I've texted with him a few times. Lance McCullers Jr. on the Astros, which is pretty
That's
sweet.
sick.
Wow.
Like a few big leaguers, which is cool. Like that's just I'm always like nervous. Max Clark is crazy, but he's probably like up there because he's just so clouded. And then I don't know. I've indirectly talked to Destroying because like my boy Snapchatted him on behalf of me to like try to connect. That's a long shot, but we'll see how that works. But yeah, like mostly the baseball world. So like if Lance McCullers and if like Ben Joyce, that's kind of cool. And then
That's sick.
yeah,
Wow.
it's still
That's so cool.
And tell us, how old are you?
I'm 20.
20.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're younger than both of us, and you're straight killing it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
man. I mean,
That's
How
awesome,
long have
bro.
you been doing this?
I've been making videos since I was like 11 on YouTube, like posting videos. They obviously weren't good, but I've just loved YouTube. I love making videos, always editing and that stuff. But really, like baseball, going hard in baseball, like 2 years. I'd say 2.5. Yeah.
That's sick, bro. So yeah, I feel like this is gonna be one of our, I don't want to say favorite. I feel like I say that often, but I just feel like it just keeps getting better and better. And so
Good.
I
Yeah.
feel like we kind of are trying to obviously do what you do. We're more baseball oriented podcasts. Eventually want to maybe start meeting up with people when we can. Um, and so I feel like this is gonna be something that we are excited to talk about.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
pumped. Yeah.
so let's start with like you're a baseball fan, obviously. How did you play baseball? Did you play call like what was your baseball life like?
Yeah, so I'm a lefty, I'm a pitcher, so that was kind of like my thing. I was always a pitcher. And then once I was in high school, I made like varsity as a sophomore and had like a really good year. And I threw kind of hard. Like I threw like 83 to 85, like as a 16-year-old. So like I was getting some looks at some like decent like D1 schools around my area, D2, D3, like in New England. I'm from New England, so it's like, the Fairfields and maybe not UConn, but like schools kind of like in that mid-major area.
Okay.
And then I tore my rotator cuff and I was like kind of like out really like for a year. It took to get back to 100%. It took
Was
like a year.
that from baseball?
Yeah, it was like through it, felt the pop, couldn't lift my arm up.
Oh.
It sucked. And it was brutal, but it taught me a lot about like training and rehab and blah blah blah. So that was super cool. And then my first series was like Road to 90. It was like me coming back from injury, and I made YouTube videos about it. And then
Nice.
I ended up doing then COVID happened, and all that stuff, and then I ended up deciding to do a post grad year last year at a school. It's a post grad is like it was at an all sports school, all guys, so like all athletes, and then everyone played a sport, and it was really to get you to like a better college than you would have gotten to. So I committed to a D2 in California called Azusa Pacific, which is like they're pretty good. They're like a top 25 D2 program. It's like Southern California, so a lot of good baseball out there. And then I was on campus for like 2 weeks, and then I dropped out. And I wasn't even playing baseball at that point. I was like, it was kind of like my social media stuff started taking off a little bit. And I was like, I really just want to make videos, like, and I'm starting to make money from it and stuff. And then I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to play baseball. So like before I got on campus, I was like, I'm not going to play. I'm going to keep training. And then I started just traveling a lot, and I was like, I just can't, like, I don't want to do this. So now I'm doing online school at LA Film School, so I can like be virtual and do it everywhere, which is kind of cool. So it was like, I didn't really drop out. I transferred, but
Dude, I graduated from a film school.
Oh, where?
Not LA film school, but in Ventura. So I'm from Ventura,
Yeah, yeah.
Ohio. They have like it's called Ventura Adult Continuing Education is one of them, and then there's Technology Development Center, and that does video production, video editing, camera work, all that. And you graduate for you go 2 years and you get it's like a trade school.
Yeah, dude, you're from Ohio. Ohio's dope, right? Really
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm in Lame, Alabama.
Idiot, absolute idiot. First of all,
How does that work? Alabama?
Yeah, my wife's from here. The goal is to do this and start making enough money where I can move out to California and actually start traveling like you'd always do. That's the goal. But yeah, I just I graduated with that, so video editing and all that stuff's what I love to do as well.
Yeah. So where is your best? I'm sorry to ask you questions now, but where do
no,
you
you're
think
good.
your
Hey,
best?
you're a podcaster too. Ask us
Yeah,
questions.
in my blood. No, it's like what do you think is your most what platform are you putting the most energy into right now? Like
Dude, that's the toughest thing is it sucks because we live so far away.
Yeah, so you're from California.
I'm from California. Yeah, yeah,
Where are you from? You're from SoCal?
yeah. Oxnard.
Oh, Oxnard. Okay, cool. Oh, you guys are like from the, not tropical. I haven't been up that area yet. Like Santa Barbara. I went up once and it
Yeah.
seems a little more, it's like more calm and than LA. Like LA is
Dude,
Oh,
LA,
definitely way calmer.
like
Oh
surfy.
man,
I don't know how else to describe it.
if
No,
you want a
it's
chill vibe, you definitely come over here.
It's
Yeah.
nice,
I don't know
cool.
about Oxnard, but Ventura
Yeah.
and Ojai for sure. Oxnard's a little bit ghetto.
Santa Barbara's, my buddy's going to Santa Barbara City College next year.
Okay.
So up there, but anyway,
Nice.
yeah. So to get back to the question, so yeah, what would you say?
No, you're good.
Platform.
Spotify, which isn't even something that we should be focusing on. So I'll put real quick. Do you know David Dobrik?
Yeah.
So you know Dom, Dirty Dom from him as well.
Yeah.
I'm talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
He has his webinar next week that he is going to put together for us so we can talk to him and figure out what he does because he's been in that for a while. It's also what we want to talk to you about later. But he told me that we got to focus on YouTube Shorts, TikToks, Instagram, smaller things because nobody knows who we are. So it's hard for people to listen to an hour-long podcast from someone that isn't a name yet. And so like you were saying, I think, and that was just yesterday. So literally we talked today and we were like, we need to really focus on TikTok, start YouTube Shorts, things like that, and not just the YouTube part of the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of opinions on that. I agree with all those. Like the biggest thing right now is like you use short form vertical to kind of like drive people to your long form. But like the way you get eyes on your stuff is by making engaging. Like you probably saw my shorts before you saw my YouTube videos. Like that's just, or my TikToks or whatever. Like that's just naturally where I was at like 100K on TikTok before I was at like 10K on YouTube. So like it was just easier for me to grow on. It's easier to grow on those, but then eventually like you kind of got to play the game of each platform and like grow within the platform. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. The way you edit your YouTube Shorts, TikTok, stuff like that, it's hard for us is how we're talking.
Right. Zoom.
That's why we want to do this in person. I don't have the money to travel everywhere right now. So with something like this, there's only so much I could do to make this look entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
I do, yeah.
That's the hardest part is I can't just post this on TikTok.
Yeah.
No one's going to sit there and watch 30 seconds of us talking on this.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out ways that I can make them look interesting with edits, but I'm still working on that. Like we'll talk later on about it because I definitely want some opinions and advice from you when it comes to just the social media world because you're kind of killing it right now. But dude, are you doing this full time?
Yeah. So
okay.
I'm in online school, but yeah, like for income and stuff, yeah, this is my full time.
So are you have explain your company, your brand. Isn't it ETS?
Enjoy the show. ETS, yeah. So
explain that because I saw something about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's my buddy Leo who lives in actually Pacific Palisades, so maybe you're kind of more familiar with, it's like Malibu, whatever. But he lives up there. I met him when we were in LA. I stayed with him. We went to the All-Star game last year. Like kind of just became buddies because we were both in. He used to do esports stuff, whatever. We were just boys. His family's from like where I'm from, and so we like co-founded what we're calling a multimedia company. Enjoy the show with the idea of the intersection between player and fan. So I do a lot of content like with big leaguers and with baseball players, guys like Max Clark, whatever. But that's for my personal brand. So like when we're with this person, we can make so much other content that people want to see, that I can put my whatever creative spin on it, but it's more for like a brand, like GQ does their stuff, or Uninterrupted does their stuff, or like it's not like you don't have, like, obviously LeBron owns Uninterrupted, but he's not on the camera every video. He's honestly
Right.
not, rarely. So we wanted to do like kind of have stuff like that where it's showing players' personalities, without having a personality have to be like the middleman. It's more like direct to consumer, I guess, is what I would say. So really what that looks like is right now we collaborate with a lot of people on Instagram who are buddies, who are like, we're trying to grow our page and kind of have a platform where they can grow their stuff. Like the Bat Boys are my guys, like Noah Katz, umpire guy, umpire channel, people you've probably seen before if you're in the baseball world. So we're in like a group chat, we collaborate on that stuff, and then also we just do our own organic content. We'll do like, went out to visit Max, we'll do like a clip of Max's highlights, and then a carousel of him hitting whatever stuff that we know will do well. And then when we did the Ben Joy stuff, we did like a carousel of us with Ben, and then maybe a clip that I didn't post on my personal page that we can. So really it's right now it's kind of like putting my spin and Leo's spin on the stuff that we're already doing. And eventually want to spin it into like its own standalone like brand. You can kind of point to it and be like, oh, I know what Enjoy the Show is. But right now we're kind of taking baby steps there. And I'm really focused on the personal brand. But yeah, that's like the idea behind it.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
So who you've been talking to major leaguers and stuff like that? How does that even happen?
Do baby steps, like little like yeah, like I had 6,000 followers on Instagram just from posting clips with my buddy Joe, and Lance McCullers just follows me. Like, I'm just like, what? I didn't even follow him first, like on that account. Like he just followed me, and I just see him verified, and I'm like, whoa, what? And then I DM him, and I'm just like, dude, huge fan, whatever. And it just so happened that the Astros were in Boston 2 weeks later. Lance is on injured reserve or whatever, IR, I forget what they call it, but he was traveling though with the team. He doesn't have much to do, he doesn't have to prep for anything. So my studio happened to be at Boston University, which happened to be 5-minute walk from Fenway. Literally, you see it from, you can watch a game from there. Just really lucky stuff. He Ubers in the morning, does a podcast with us, and walked to the game after. Like it was just like, so lucky. And then that opens doors to other things. So it's like, and I started with Zoom interviews. So I was doing Zoom stuff, but I was trying to make it like not an hour, like 15, 20 minutes, show all the highlights, cut it into like segments, chop, whatever, like make it as engaging as I could, like you were talking about with what I had. And then the in-person stuff, it made it that much easier to make it cool because you're adding the element of being in person. And then after that, I think the next big leaguer was Luis Gonzalez maybe. And that was just like, at a like we met his agent at the All-Star game, and we showed him our content. He's like, oh, you want to do a thing with Luis? So we met him in like El Segundo at some restaurant, and we just did like a 10-minute like me holding a microphone, whatever, like just baby step. Like it was shitty content, but like it was a big leaguer. Like it was us meeting him, making a connection, and I was like, take whatever opportunity I can get. Then Eric Sim, so like that was cool. So he started eSim, and the Momentum guys are all about showing love to people who are doing stuff like what we're doing. So that was amazing, great connection. And then just like little things from there, man. It's just about taking little small wins every day.
Dude, how was that meeting the King of JUCO?
Like, surreal.
He's such a character. Like,
yeah, he is who he is off camera, on camera, off camera, whatever.
Dude, that's so cool when you can meet someone like that.
It's nuts, dude. And like you guys could do it. Like if you just make a couple pieces of content that maybe he sees or likes, and you reach out to him. Like,
dude, he did. He saw my stuff, because it probably wasn't wasn't like the best. Not saying it was bad, but pretty much. So we play baseball. We still play. We play in a men's league. We've been playing forever. I didn't play in high school. I wish I did. Anyways, I would say we're decent. Like we're not top level, but we're good. So I put in one of the podcasts a while back, I said, I'll hit off Trevor Bauer.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think if you give me multiple at bats, I can get wood on him. Like I think I can hit the ball. So I called him out, posted on my Instagram, and tagged both of them, and he saw it. Eric Sim did. Didn't say nothing, he never saw my DM or whatever, but no, I kind of see what you're saying there.
Like I had a DM with Eric Sim that was just I don't even think he opened it. It was not even left unread. It just wasn't open from 2020. Me saying he should start making videos on YouTube. He didn't see it, but like I was just trying to I used to do the thing where like even like up until like 14 months ago, I was doing the thing where like I would look at hashtag baseball and just go comment and like on as many posts as possible just so people could see my page.
Dude, I
Fuck that, man.
DM 50 to 100 people a day.
Yeah,
And
you gotta make your own luck. Like that's really what it comes down
like
to.
Max even said, because I asked him, like, how'd you see ours? 'Cause at that time, yes, I paid for the verified symbol just so maybe that'll help people see it. Why
Sure.
not?
Yeah, I think
So before that, I didn't even have it, and he was just like, dude, you just popped up in my like non-hidden ones, and I saw it, and I was like, I'm down, and I was like, that's all it is. It's like someone sees it. We have next week we have a former major leaguer that's gonna hop on, and
keep shooting your shot, dude. Literally.
just I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I want to do it, but let's get back to you because you're normally the one interviewing people, and we want to interview you a little bit.
Yeah.
So you played baseball. Is that
Yeah.
out of the picture now?
Yeah, so yeah, pretty much what happened was over the summer, I really wasn't even just because my stuff started taking like having traction. It was more just like I knew what I want to do. I want to make videos and travel and keep grinding and grow as a content creator. I think this is the best time ever to be a creative and to make creative art, especially videos. So like I was like, dude, I'd be dumb not to. That's how I put it in my head. And then I was just kind of like, yeah, baseball is like playing baseball is fun, man. But like I feel like I'm more involved in baseball, the baseball world now than I've ever been. So like I don't feel like I'm missing it, and I don't miss the competition of it because like I feel like I am competing every day, like trying to get more views, get more likes, edit better. Like so, and it sounds like oh, like I want to edit better, but like you know how it goes. Like
No, it's a grind, man. It's a grind.
grind,
It's
man, and
never good enough.
No, never, which is awesome, which means
Yeah.
you can always get better, which is really exciting.
So so have you been to how many stadiums have you been to?
Oof. MLB or for college, like the tours.
I would say let's do like MLB. Have you been to all of them?
No, not even close, man.
Do you not really go to MLB games?
I do. I just actually I really don't. I used to work at Fenway. Like summers ago, I worked at Fenway, so I'd go to a lot of Fenway games, and I've been to Yankee Stadium, I've been to or the Orioles or Camden. I've been to like the ones in the Northeast pretty much, and then like Angels, Dodgers. But I've probably been to like 25% of big league stadiums.
So
but it doesn't mean
you,
I'm not because
I know you do college tours. What's your favorite one?
I think Miami was my favorite because I don't know if you could see it. I'm a diehard
Oh, okay.
Hurricanes. My dad's from Miami, so like that was kind of where I grew up. My family's all Cuban, so we big Miami ties. So for me, that was like special because I was like, wow, this is like my childhood, whatever dream. But the coolest like experience. Oh, and there's Miami right here. So University of Miami.
Oh yeah, we got diehard Miami fan.
Miami, you get it. But yeah, Oregon was so cool, dude. Oregon,
dude,
heaven for an
Are you when you go to that? Do you get to tour like everything? Or are you specifically baseball?
Dude, I mean, like in that Oregon video, like yeah, it's about baseball, but like he took us on the football field. We got to like run routes and stuff like that. Like they're usually like pretty lenient. Like they're like, oh, you guys are media. Like no one's on. You know what I mean? Like it's a college. People go and play catch on the field and stuff.
So how do you get something like that? Because like who are you reaching out to, and then who is the one that's like, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Dude, baby steps. Again, same thing. We started at I had an idea. Leo and I were like, dude, Dsarm does all these facility tours for football. Those guys, Kowiski, you know, those Royal Key, they do like a few baseball, but the big names, but mostly football, basketball. I was like, dude, what if we just did baseball, like baseball tours, whatever. I'm with a player, not with a coach. So it's like a little more, I don't know, not like an old person. It's like too young.
Yeah.
So it just made sense in my head. And we started with like, oh, we're in San Diego. Let's just reach out to a guy in San Diego State and just say, hey, this is our idea. How do we do it? And he goes, yeah, we can film that right now. Just got to talk to our operations person, kind of pitch them the idea, whatever. Then we do University of San Diego. Then same thing with like getting big leaguers on the podcast. It slowly snowballs to like, okay, we have proof of concept now. Like we're legitimate people. I'd like to say like we get decent views, but we're not meant to make the university in a bad light. We want to showcase what they have. So like we just started building up that kind of like rapport and like I don't know.
I feel like that's. I mean, obviously it's how you do it because you're proving it, but I feel like you need those people to show people that like you're legit. You know, like and we all know you were legit, but you started getting people that had a name to them, and now we're legit because we're talking to you. Like,
dude, I'm legit because I did a pod with Max Clark. Like a lot of the kids are like, "Oh, you did the thing with Max Clark," and I'm like, "I did. That's me. I did it." Yeah.
How did you get that to blow up? Because we did too.
Well, dude, it was different in person. Like
I know
person stuff is killer, bro. Like I'm
we
telling you,
are
they're doing it.
we are gonna do one in person with him.
Yeah,
That's
you should.
something we're working on getting out there in the next couple months. But
Like if you look at my thumbnail and I titled it as if it was like, how Nelk Boys and them, they title it like, it's a podcast. Oh, like I should watch this podcast. It's like Shaq talks about his relationship with Kobe. Then it's about, and then the thumbnail is like Shaq talking to a mic. It's just like I wanted to make it look like a legitimate professional thing, even though it's just me and my buddy with a camera. But
for sure. And were you and Max friends before?
yeah, I met him at Area Codes, I think, because we went to Area Codes in San Diego to do some content where we did the first few tours. And because Area Codes had me out, like I met the owner or something like that, and he was just like, come make content. And I met Max, I met all those dudes, Boston Flannery, Charlie Soto, like these guys who were like first rounders, and we're just kind of like kicking it, like I don't know, just hanging out at the games and stuff. It was really cool. So I just kind of met Max, was like, hey, we should do something, and we are gonna do a pod then, but he had to leave or something. It just the timing wasn't right, and I knew it would do really well because he's just like lightning in a bottle for content, and so we just kind of kept in touch, texted, whatever, like, hey, we'll link up eventually, whatever, and me and Leo and I were just like, dude, we should like just go to Indiana and like do it there. And it's off season, and Max was all for it, or it might have even been Max's idea where he's like, come out and do it here because it's like easier for him, cool for us. We could go experience a new thing. Totally worth it. Like it's expensive to go to Indianapolis. It's in the middle of nowhere, but it was worth it on the back end because of how much like exposure we got. So just again, like little baby steps, like, oh, like we'll figure it out, whatever, and just building that relationship with people.
So
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go. So when did you know, like, damn, I should take this serious? Like, when did it click for you? Because that's something I want to know.
When I really started like taking it serious was, I think at Bridgeton was the school I went to last year. Like we were traveling, playing games, stuff like that. I was playing like the college kind of baseball schedule, whatever, like, go on the bus, today's a lift day, whatever, all that kind of schedule. So I was doing like game day vlogs, day in the life in September of 2021. And that's when I was just like, dude, I want to, like, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, and I just should just put effort into this if I actually want to do it. And I'd already committed to Azusa, so like I wasn't really on the hook for like, I didn't have to prove anything to anybody right at this point. Like I could just do my class, do my work, pass whatever, and play and get better. So that's when I started doing it. But again, I was getting like 1,000 views a video, 1,500 views a video, but like trying to take the little wins at a time. Then about this time last year, maybe like 2 weeks ago last year, I started doing like a podcast because I love watching podcasts and listening to podcasts with my buddy Joe, who's on my team. And that's when the traction, like that's when the first bit of like, oh, I found a format that actually works. The Road to 90 stuff was more just like, oh, if it's a cool clip, whatever, or if I'm throwing slow and people can comment, talk shit about it, okay, that does well. I started to get it where I was like, okay, like I can do the TikTok trend stuff, maybe get a couple thousand views, 20,000 on TikTok, whatever, like stuff like that. But then the podcasts were automatically, we did one where it was like the real difference between D1, D2, D3, and it's hot takes and kind of like, not provocative, but just like stuff that people are going to have an opinion about, whether it's pro or con or pro or whatever. You get it. So we started doing that stuff, started picking up steam. And then I realized like, oh, I had to find a format that works and was repeatable, and then keep doing that and getting better within that format. Then I can expand, and then I can talk about other stuff and do other interviews with people. But like, I need to like strike while it's hot and then slowly grow within that like hyper niche or like that sub niche of baseball.
That's it. Yeah, dude. You're straight killing the game. What's your I guess you're never really going to be satisfied, but like what's the number to where you're like, wow. Like you probably still are kind of like, dang, like I'm killing it. You ever look at yourself and you're like, I'm killing it?
Not like I should probably more, where it's like, or it's like the Max Clark video that did really well. I should like be like, damn, like we did. But for me,
it's
like,
it's not easy.
It could go away like anytime is my mindset, where I've just kind of this like, I forget, I don't know, just something where it's like the job, like it's not done. Like this job isn't over. I didn't just like do something and now that's the end of it. Because it's like it's never enough. It's never, you can always be better. And for me, it's just kind of like one of those things. It's like I just, as cliche as it sounds, I just want to keep like improving on it. And yeah, I think that's kind of a trait you see in like people, like the hyper successful people, like the Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, whatever, Kobe, like they had this kind of like hype. I try to just like mimic them in the way where they're just like, no, I was just like never satisfied. It's not like I'm sad. It's just like, no, I'm just not done. Like it just never ends. Like you can look back and be like nostalgic and be like, oh, we accomplished something. But yeah, for me, I'm not really there. I'm not even close to there yet where I could look back and be like, oh, cool. I mean, it's cool, but it's more just like, oh, I got to, it's not really about the views. It's more just like, oh man, I really got to do a video at University of Miami, and like,
Yeah.
you got to do that. And that's like kind of like my 12-year-old self would be freaking out right now. So that's really cool. Oregon, same thing. I'm a big fan of like Nike and Phil Knight and like that stuff. So that was like kind of surreal because I was like, man, this is like where Nike started, stuff like that. So yeah, in a way I do, I guess. But I think 100,000 subscribers is like my goal right now. Like I want to hit 100K, but like subscribers is like in a way kind of a vanity metric. I feel like, because it's like how many views are you pulling per video? Like there's channels with 1 million subs that are like dead, and the views is how you build fans and make money and this and that and keep doing the career. So average views per video is like going to be like the biggest thing I look at. But again, I don't know what a good, like I want to keep getting as big as possible, but
Yeah, I got you. I feel like it's one of those
yeah.
things too where you say 100K and then you hit that, and now you're like 500K, and then you hit that, and then there's never that moment where you're like, I'm happy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you are happy, but you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to ever settle. You're
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
just going to keep going.
I think it's just like a personality trait like people like us have, where it's just like you just want to keep getting, like you have this drive to like keep the way some people are always want to just, hey, build a career as like a mechanic or do something, in being an agent, like a sports agent or a writer, or like we just naturally have it in a field that there really isn't like a cap. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can be a better mechanic, but like you just have to get the job done. Like you have to just be reliable. Us is like, yeah, we want to be reliable and do our good work, but like there's an infinite amount of places we can go from here. So it's like you can't settle, or else you're gonna kind of end up falling behind, I feel like.
So obviously, I want to get you to say something that you've never said before. Not saying I'm going to ask you anything crazy, but what's the future looking like for kind of like your channel and what you're doing? And what I mean by that is it strictly going to be baseball? Are you thinking about maybe broadening out to other sports? And is it going to be what you're doing now, or do you have stuff in the future? Like, are you thinking about things in the future that you're like, I'm planning on doing this next year that's going to change the game, or something like that?
Yeah, something that I've always wanted to do that I just like I just kind of want to speak it into existence because I don't really know how else to like do it. It'd be like I want to go to every MLB stadium in like a short time frame. Like I don't know if 30 stadiums in 30 days is doable, but like 30 stadiums in 60 days, have like a sprinter van content every stadium, make it like a thing, make it like a fundraiser or something where it's like, hey guys, we're gonna be at Wrigley today. Come to the parking lot. We're gonna have free t-shirts, making content, whatever. Have a podcast inside the van. Do stuff like that. You'd have to obviously have a pretty big sponsor and a lot of logistics involved. But I think that is like something where the way Ryan Trahan kind of did his like Penny series, where he vlogged every single day trying to cross the country, and it was like in real time almost. Like the videos were only like 2 days ahead of when they actually got posted. So that stuff's really cool to me. And then he saw amazing growth. He made a ton of money for charity, blah, blah, blah. And then he kind of took a break for a month and then came back with just like 10 bangers back to back to back. Like that's kind of cool to me, where he like grew his channel like crazy, did something where he was like, whoa, I can't believe that happened. I'm gonna take a break now, reset. And then he just went back full steam ahead. So that's the kind of stuff I want to do. Obviously I'm nowhere like near him or he's just a very talented person too. But people like that, I look up to people like Mr. Beast and like the guys who were just like doing stuff, even the Nelk boys, and like where you look at like, how did you get him on your podcast? Like what? Like that doesn't even make sense. Like it's like
Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
Then it's Donald Trump, and then it's like Polo G, and you're like, wait, what? Like it's just like crazy people from all different walks of life, and like it's cool. And I don't even watch their stuff that often anymore, but I keep an eye on it because I'm seeing it, and like you have to notice like they're actually doing something that's really crazy. So same with Mr. Beast. It's like, how did he? That's nuts. Like stuff that makes you go like, dude, I have to like see what that's about. That's the stuff.
Your
That's cool.
intros mimic Mr. Beast a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's like the whole concept where it's like your first 30 seconds are like winner, like make or break. So I was like, who has really good intros? Oh, like he does the pop-up text and like the quick music and the voiceover. So I was like, let me try that. And I've seen better success. Like the BYU intro was one where I saw like really good success of people like sticking through the whole 30 seconds. And watching the rest of the video. So it's one of those things.
Dang, that's sick.
I gotta know who's paying for your flight. That's
Yeah,
one thing I gotta know because you're
no,
traveling all over, man.
usually it's like me, like straight up, like first it'll be like I cover the flights, and then I try to find a sponsor on the back end, and then hopefully the AdSense from the video will make up for it. But yeah, like if you look at my Oregon videos, those were sponsored by String King. So like I
Yeah.
have a manager who kind of like helps find me deals in the baseball world specifically, and I'll be like, hey Cam, like I want to go to Oregon. I'm gonna go to Oregon. I might go negative 1,500 in the hole, but I'm gonna make it happen because I believe in this video because it's gonna be sick. And he'll be like, okay, let me see what I can do, and then he'll bring me, like, String King I said was the sponsor, so he's like, hey, they'll give you X amount of money for this kind of integration, does that sound good? And I'll be like, yeah, or I don't, whatever. They try, obviously brands are trying to get as much as they can. So I was like, yeah, it's worth it for me. I just want to make the videos, and then I don't want the ad to like take away from the video. So if it can just be like something that people either watch or don't watch, but the brand is happy, whatever. So that's how it goes. It's mostly like brand partnerships, but really, in that, like, I'll go out of my pocket first.
So you kind of mentioned like brands trying to get as much as they can out of you. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like when you first started and you started, you got a sponsorship and they're like, I'll give you this amount of money. Were you kind of like, yeah, because you were excited that you finally got one? Or were you smart and you knew, like, no, that's not worth it?
Yeah, for me, it was like it took a little bit for me to even like want to try to monetize it because I just like wasn't even, it wasn't making any really money from like AdSense or anything. I was just like, I just want to build the following. I want to like scare people away by just like selling out or whatever it is. But yeah, like the first, like, someone DM me was like, hey, do you do like ad reads on your podcast? And I was like, no, but like I guess I could, because that kind of makes you look more legitimate and stuff. Like that was the way I thought about it. I was like, I guess it kind of like legitimizes it if like you have a brand kind of backing it. And I was like, I don't really know how much to charge. I just like came up with a number, like $100 or $150 or something like that. And I was like, I'll do it for, like, I'd probably do it for 50 or 20. I don't even know, like whatever. And so they paid me that. And I was like, oh, that was easy. Like now I have a good relationship with that brand and can kind of scale from there. And now it's like, as the views go up, you can kind of like charge more, do like a CPM thing where it's like how many views this video gets is how much money you get, like stuff like that, where you can kind of go in the weeds of it. I don't really like that stuff that much. I think it's a lot of it is just like the Wild West, and like a lot of brands try to take advantage of like the influencer world, or I hate that word, but like the content creators, the people who are like putting in the hours to make a cool video happen. Brands just want to like steal some of that viewership for themselves, or like I think if a brand is like good about it and it's something I actually want to promote, I'm more than happy to do it. Because like if it's like a cool, batting glove company where it's like affordable bats or affordable gloves or even bats, like stuff like that, where kids are going to get value from it, I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then other times it's like, I don't know, if it's a sponsor that's going to cover the trip and I can make the trip happen, and I think it's going to add to, or like I said, not like take away from the video, and it's like it's good, it can help make the video happen, for me it's worth it. But yeah, like I tried to hold off for a while, and then I realized, like, well, if I need to do these like even guys like Mr. Beast, like they do ad reads and stuff in their videos because like brands are willing to pay money to make stuff like that happen.
Oh,
So
yeah, for sure. Um, Let me ask you this. If I have you been to Alabama?
yeah, been to Hoover, been to Birmingham. Yeah.
Dude, you're about 15 minutes from me. Have you been to any of the colleges out here?
No, my buddy goes to Samford. Yeah, that's in Alabama. But no, I know like Jacksonville State is that what it's called? It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Are you? Is that
I've been to University of Alabama actually, but not for
okay?
the.
Have you? Would you? It's not a huge school. Have you heard of like UAB and
Yeah,
okay? Would is that a college you would do, or is that not a big college?
I think so, dude. I think I'm at the point still where it's like any Division I school that's like willing to have us out and is like accommodating and happy to like be along. Like I think that could help a lot of people if
Like my
yeah.
wife's sister went there.
Yeah,
She knows everybody there, and I could probably get you that one too. It's
I'd
nothing
love to.
crazy, but I was thinking if you were down, we could set something up. We could do something in person while you're here.
That'd be
So
dope.
I'll fly him out here, and we'll do something.
Dude, that'd be sick, because then if it's like if I can have an excuse to go to Alabama, then it's like, okay, now we can start working on trying to get University of Alabama and maybe other schools that are in the area. So like if I can build my trip around, I try to do as much as I can in one trip. So I'd love if we can work on
Yeah,
that.
for sure. I'll try to set something up for you. but I feel like this podcast, I really wanted to kind of get to know you, and this has been a very social media um
Yeah, yeah.
podcast. It completely went a different way than I expected,
That's me,
which is
man. I
fine.
love talking about this stuff.
But
Yeah.
I just feel like you would say something, and then that just brought. I was like, wait, let's continue on that. So, let's take a few steps back, but like trying to stay out of the social media, but it's hard because you are a social
It's like
media.
my life. It's like really
Yeah.
what I do. It's like based on
Um,
social media.
but like, what's your story? Like, let's hear a little bit about you. Like, did you grow up? You know, how was family life? Are you
Yeah.
an only child? And like, what do your parents think about this?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so I'm from New Hampshire, from a town called Exeter, New Hampshire. I'm actually here right now, like I said, visiting family. It's like 40 minutes north of Boston. So like my dad, he works at Boston University, so he's a teacher, very academic person. He went to Harvard. He's a very smart guy. So like when I'm like, Dad, I don't really want to do this college thing the normal way, is bit of friction. Like it's like not the easiest.
Dude, that's
With that said, he teaches consumer science, and like he's in the social media world. He worked in an ad agency. He gets it. It just kind
okay.
of sucks.
Yeah, it
I was gonna
stings a little
say,
bit.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be absolutely the hardest thing. Like,
So like, what's funny is he literally texted me like 2 days ago. He's like, "Hey," he sent me an article. He's like, "Have you thought about like transferring to UCLA? You know, trying to like figure that out." UCLA is like the school he wants me at, and I'm like, "Look, I'd love to, but one, I don't know if I'll get in. Two, I don't know how much I could be in person, even if I did get in, because it's like I wouldn't want to do online school there. I'd want to be in person. That's like that'd be a dope. So it's kind of like right now, yeah. So the school thing has been a big point of like my mom loves it. My mom doesn't care. She's like, whatever you're happy with, if it's whatever. She's like super supportive. That's great. My dad's more constructive and realistic and with
It's
those.
always the moms that are super understanding.
Oh yeah. So I feel as long as they're
but
happy, not, and
was it like that? Was it like that from the start, or did she? And the only reason I say this is like my mom supports me. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like she doesn't take it seriously. You know,
right.
she's like cool, 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 blows me off. But if I was to where you're at, then she would be like, oh, like
Yeah.
this is real.
Right.
Is that how
Yeah.
your mom was, or did she always just be like, dude, let's go, like do it?
Yeah. They knew it was always like kind of my hobby. Like they always knew I was like, yo, what's up, guys? We're out here at the Red Sox game. It was like a family trip, and I'm just like talking to it. They're like, all right, he's doing his thing, whatever. So like they knew I was that kind of person. But yeah, like once I started, like I got, a little, and it wasn't even the money, it was more like the views. Once I could say a number where they were like, oh, you got 1 million views on that TikTok, like that's 1 million. That's kind of a lot. Like
What is
10,000,
that feeling like?
it's crazy. But like my first one that went viral was honestly like almost a year ago today. It was like a year ago in a few days. It was like a Vandy commit taking me 450. You may have seen the clip, like 1 million views, and it stops right as he's about to swing, and it's like Michael Scott, and he's like, "Oh God, please no!" And then he hits it, and whatever. It's like it wasn't even like about me or anything. It was just a funny moment. But like when
Yeah.
that first started, it started lifting all my views up, which I was doing like podcast stuff at the time too. So like that helped a lot because I was like, oh wow, if I do it, if I was like when I posted it, I'm like, this is gonna bang. I just like thought it was hilarious, and I thought I was like, hopefully other people do too, and people did, and that told me like, maybe trust my gut and just make stuff that I think people will like.
So I didn't realize this. You've really, really grown in the last year
Yeah, yeah,
because everything I feel like you've said has been, within the last year.
yeah, dude. Like, I could try to think of the metrics. It was probably like YouTube this time last year, like 4,000 subscribers or 5,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
That's awesome.
TikTok like 25,000 followers, it was a little bigger, and then TikTok is easy, and then Instagram is probably the big. It was like 4,000 followers on Instagram, maybe
All right.
5,000.
So I forgot to ask Max Clark this question. So I'll ask you. Um, what is it like being recognized? Like, it sounds like a lame question, but I think I've never been to there, obviously, but like I feel like that would be such a cool feeling to be at a baseball game, whatever you're doing, and be like, "Yo, Dsarm, that what's up, dude?" And like people genuinely are like, "Oh my gosh, like I met him." How is that feeling?
It's funny, bro, because it's like like Max is on I went to Top Golf with Max in Chicago, and it was like every kid between ages of 10 and 15 were like, oh, I know even if they weren't baseball kids, they just knew him.
Dude, as soon as the podcast ended, I was like, forgot to ask you that question.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really cool. Like I remember the first time it happened was like a year and a few months ago. I was like 3,000 subs doing my Road to 90 thing. I was in Malibu on vacation with my mom or something. We were going to visit Azusa, the school I was committed to. And then we went to Malibu for like an afternoon, and I had to get my throwing in. I had to throw for like 30 minutes or whatever. And a kid who was practicing on the field runs over. He goes, "Hey, Road to 90," and I was like, no way you know that. He goes, "Dsarm, yeah, Road to 90," and I was like, what? Like I gave him a fist bump and like I've followed him from this day because I was 2,000 followers on Instagram, and I was like, how did you even like see? It was the weird, and that was a very small scale, but that kind of told me like, oh, like it's within a community, like it's the baseball.
Yeah,
community.
it's definitely a
Yeah.
niche.
Like you're not like Tom Cruise where everyone who's anybody will know who you are, but it's like the way how Mookie Betts could probably walk into a Starbucks and like maybe he's a bad example, but like maybe
Dude,
just
my buddy saw Christian Yelich at a mall. Like
Christian Yelich,
Christian Yelich, perfect
average looking
example.
person where it's
Yeah.
like kind of a tall, skinny guy, doesn't look crazy athletic, walk in and then like everyone's just gonna walk by him, but then you see the one dude in like the Brewers hat or whatever who's like,
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
saw like Jesus. He's like, what? So it's kind of like crazy how it's like it's so for me it's cool, but it's also like I don't think I'm like some big guy. You know what I mean? Like it's
for sure. And don't take this the wrong way, but like I told my wife, I was like, I'm pumped. We got Dsarm, and she was like, who? And I was like, anybody in the baseball world knows. I said, but you won't. And like kind of like we were saying, it's a community. If Max Clark, she didn't even know who that was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you don't know baseball.
What's crazy is like you say Mike Trout, she'll go,
yeah, she won't even know who that is.
My girlfriend she'd be like, I don't, she probably can't even name like NBA players, like in the bigger star, like it's different. But she could tell me her top 5 whatever favorite TikTokers who do like I don't know, make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like she,
yeah.
It's like
yeah, for sure. So your pitcher, who is someone that you want, like you would dream of facing?
Oh, in the box?
Yeah, it could be a professional or non-professional. Who's like one guy you were like, dang, like if I could strike this guy out, I'd love
to K up Max Clark. Like
dude, I was gonna ask you
why
haven't you tried?
I haven't thrown. I think the last time I threw live was to Eric Sim in like July.
I was gonna say I haven't seen you throw at all against him.
So how hard could you throw now?
Now I don't at Sims I top like 84. Nothing.
Dude, that's still good.
Fine, but like right now
you're throwing Eric Gagne heat right now. If you saw his recent video,
yeah. But he, could actually like I don't know. I'm okay. Like I was fine, but I probably could top like 82 right now, and my arm would kill. But it'd be fun because I'd still like you kind of pick things back up. It's like riding a bike. You kind of remember like how to get in your mechanics and stuff.
So you throw 80, roughly 8, a little higher than 80. What's your off speed like? Do you have off speed? Is it nasty? Is it all right?
My curveball was kind of like what I got recruited. I was a lefty with a good curveball. That was kind of like my profile. Like I threw hard enough to like get outs, but yeah, my changeup was okay. But my curveball was kind of like my thing. It was like a very steep 12-6, kind of like I'd hate to compare it to like Kershaw. Like let's not nothing more than that. Just like the way the ball, not as fast, not as many spin, but you know how I mean. It's like loopy and kind of like whatever. But
Nick Anderson ish.
Yeah. Yes,
Nick
exactly.
Anderson.
Nick Anderson, 100%, like a 12-6, like a true. That was kind of like my thing. From my arm slot, it just kind of tunneled well. But yeah.
So I throw roughly 75. No, 75 if I'm lucky. I'd say 72 average.
Okay.
But dude, when will you be in Indiana again? Do you have any clue, or is that something you're planning on going back?
Like a month from today, I think I'll be there. I can't because they have this big tournament. Or something.
May 10th or something.
Yeah, it's like May 12th, I think. All the media guys will be there, like Black Cobra Media. I don't know if you know him. He does all the high school stuff. He'll be there. A bunch of Shot by Hype will be there, like all those guys. So
yeah, he told us if we're gonna come to a game, go to May 10th because it's gonna be at like a certain state. It's gonna be at the Pirates Old Stadium or whatever, which is gonna be crazy.
Indianapolis Indians AAA.
It's like the number 1 high school in Indiana playing against that team. It's gonna go crazy.
Zionsville or something. Yeah.
But dude, we need to stay in touch. We want to go to Indiana for to see him and hang out and do whatever. But I really, this might be a long shot, but I'd love to see. I will try to strike his ass out.
I'd love to. Like, how fun would that? Like, I don't even care if whatever. Like,
Dude, if he hits a nuke off you, who cares?
amazing content. I would love if he
Right?
did. I would prefer that probably to a
Like,
strike.
let's set this up.
No, it'd be great. Dude, it just kind of sucks because like he's at a point now where it's like he probably can't do that stuff. His agent like wouldn't let him. As he should. He probably should listen to them and like not do stupid stuff. Like just play and like imagine the dumb like if he got hurt or something like that or I hit him, like that would suck. But once he gets like drafted or whatever he does, like after that period's over and he's like signed or whatever he's done, then that'd probably be fine. Like,
dude, no, I think we need to set something up. I would love to come out there. Obviously, if you don't want to, that's cool. But we'd love to come out. Obviously, see all you guys.
Yeah.
And do something in person.
I think that's the smartest decision you guys can make because it's like even if you just post a little clip of you interviewing Max after his game or something, that's like people love, it legitimizes you. It like gives people credit. It gives you credibility. It's like in person, like you're actually like connecting with this person.
You don't give yourself enough credit. It's not just Max. We want to talk to you too, want to talk bro. To like you. You're killing the game.
Cool, but yeah.
No,
he's the first rounder. Like he's the future millionaire.
Yeah, but
well, maybe we both are.
You're the guy we're imitating. I don't think you realize it.
Yeah,
dude. Like, so many people want to do what you do, including us. Like it's absolutely crazy. It's crazy we're talking to you right now. Like, dude, we just want to grow exactly like you, learn from you. Like we want to talk.
And shout out to whoever I was talking to on Enjoy the Show, or not, is it Enjoy the Show?
Leo, yeah, that's Leo.
Whoever I was talking to hooked this up because
yeah,
I DM'd you a while back.
Dude, I'm just so bad.
And no, you're good. You're good. Dude, you probably, I get it. You're a busy guy. I DM'd you a while back, and then I found out that you were a part of that. So I went to their page and I was like, they don't have as much followers as him. That's not a bad thing, but I was like, they're more likely to see it.
Yeah, he answered.
So I hit them up and he was like, dude, that'd be sick. Let me get in touch with Dan. And then we kept talking back and forth. And finally he was like, yo, just DM him. And I was like, that's cool. And then
I think I was with him. I was like, dude, just tell him to DM me. I'll answer right now. Like,
yeah.
Like so for me, it's like I'll just be on my computer editing all day. And I'm like, I don't want to look at my phone right now.
No, I got you. And trust me, I'm not bashing on you or anything. I get it. It's you're good. I'm just glad we were able to set this thing up. And no, we gotta set this up in person.
Yeah, dude. Like, just think of this as like us meeting for the first time. Then we'll actually get to like
exactly.
Like spend some hours together.
Yeah, for sure. I think. I mean, I feel like I have so much other stuff to talk about, but we've already been talking for almost an hour now. So we'll save the other stuff for the next in-person one.
Part 2 in person. Boom.
Exactly. I think we're gonna end it. I feel like we got, like I said, for anyone trying to do social media, I feel like you guys got a lot out of this.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm kind of like a nerd when it comes to just like that stuff. And I have a lot to learn. We all do, but like it's I love talking about it. So
for sure. But thanks again for coming on.
Of course.
Hang around for a sec because we want to chat. And Isaiah, end the pod, bro.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. This man, Dan, is awesome. We're definitely going to meet up in person, dude. Look at him, yoked out.
I'm just saying, next year at this time, he's going to be at like 1 million subs.
I love that. That'd be sweet. That'd be
Max,
really
he's coming for you. Don't get scared.
Yeah, everyone's going to be like, wait, Max Clark, who? You talking about Dsarm?
Yeah, literally.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Take care. We love you.